What up? What up? What up? Welcome in to another episode of the Swish Masters Podcast. You know what it is. It's your boy Zay, the executive producer here. We're back. Big news coming.
Yep. Big news that happened. For real. For real. Zay. Bro, I'm sorry.
The Guru bringing me not good news. What's going on, man?
Bro, when this dude's dropped, I was like, yeah, it's tough. That's tough. That's tough. As
Man.
you know already, man, you're a resident Heat fan here. As our fans already know, people that listen already know. If you're a basketball fan, you know Dame was traded finally after so many months. Yo, we were off because we were like, the next time we'll come on is when he get traded, you know?
Yeah.
And we're delivering our promise to the people. Like, it just took so long. I did not expect to be this long, but Dame was traded in a 3-team deal. Dame goes to not the Heat, not the Sixers, not even the Celtics, to the Bucks. The mean streets of Milwaukee is Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And the details are on your screen here, but it also includes the Blazers got Jrue. DeAndre Ayton was in this deal. We got to talk about that too a little bit. And some other good role players. Portland gets some Bucks first round pick and the pick swap, and the Suns get some. I would say some added depth a little bit. Nurkic, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, Grayson Allen. So that's a trade. Those are the trade details. So, Zay, what's your reaction to the trade, my guy?
Man, you already know. Let me tell y'all the story. So, the way I found out about the trade, it's been months. We've been seeing all these scenarios, all these different packages from different teams, not just the Heat, but different teams. Everyone's talking about on Twitter. There's a lot of reporters, a lot of NBA experts, and I'm seeing all these proposed trades and this idea. We can package this player. I'm seeing stuff for the Heat with Tyler Hero. They're going to include Nikola Jovic and 2 second-round picks and this and that. And I'm like, after a while, I just was of the mindset that, all right, this is going to take a long time. And honestly, I was like, got to the point that I didn't really see it happening before the season started. I was like, maybe this happens early in the season or mid-season, something like that. The way I found out Dame got traded to the Bucks, I'm at work, right? It's one sunny day outside. It's 1:45 in the afternoon. I get a text from my father-in-law. I'm in a group message with my father-in-law, and my brother-in-law. My father-in-law says, I can't believe Dame is going to the Bucks. And I'm just like, I look at this, I'm like, the Bucks? The Bucks. I haven't seen any scenario. Keep in mind, no scenarios with the Bucks at all. I haven't seen any type of package. I've seen literally Philly. I've seen Clippers. I've seen Heat. I've seen Raptors at some point. I've seen the Nets. I've seen every team. Milwaukee gets Dame out of nowhere on a random Wednesday afternoon. And I'm just like, what? I immediately, I'm like, all right, I gotta see. I go to Twitter, I look, Woj bomb, Dame has been traded to the Bucks for Jrue Holiday, and I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, this is not happening. Like, I scroll down a couple more tweets. Jimmy Butler's already posted it. He's like, all right, NBA, y'all need to look into Milwaukee for tampering. And I'm just like, what? I couldn't believe it. A, I couldn't believe the trade happened. B, and it wasn't to Miami, of course. I'm just like, Portland, I got beef with y'all. I got beef with the executives,
Mm.
beef with the city,
Mm.
fans. Not all the fans, because Dame,
Some of y'all,
some of them. But
not the ones that listen to our podcast, y'all straight.
yeah,
Just the other
shout out
ones.
to the Swish Masters fans in Portland, across the U.S., across the globe. We appreciate y'all for sure. But somebody in Portland that I'm not gonna name, that's an executive who didn't want to trade with Miami. I got beef with you. It's cool. But on the other side of it, I am happy that Dame is out of Portland. He's in a better situation. He's on a contending team. He's paired up with arguably one of the best players in the league, in the world, however you want to put it. And I'm excited to see how this season unfolds. But the Miami Heat have been treated unfair once again. I'll just put it
Yo,
out there. I'm not going to say it more than once, but it's out there.
you didn't get as deep in there as you could, bro. Like, listen, y'all pause all off-season activity for this trade. So, what other free agents are you gonna get that's out there that can help boost your team? Thing number one. Number two, um, why y'all gonna wait? Damian Lillard was there was a letter and memo sent around the league about Dame. You remember this?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, y'all
yeah.
go now with Dame when we had Ben Simmons, James Harden again, Kyrie. Y'all gonna do this now?
Yeah, that's
To
wild.
Dame, Dame has been loyal to this team for a long time. I was like, okay. When I saw that memo, okay, yeah, I like, yeah, y'all tripping. And to wait this long, granted, he's going to Milwaukee, a contender, playing with Giannis, and y'all probably remember the tweet from a while back. Dame said himself like he will play with Giannis, like that one superstar he want to play with,
They came up
and that
immediately.
they went around the circles immediately after this trade. So, which is cool. But the fact that y'all denied us a potential chance to see Dame and Jimmy and Bam on the same team. And I want to look at what they got again. So look, the Portland got I think the key piece in all this is what the Suns did with DeAndre Ayton. That's one of the key pieces here to make the money match up. But Jrue Holiday, if you just look at based on just the Bucks side, the Bucks give up Jrue Holiday to a 1 first round pick, a pick swap to Portland. That's it.
Grayson Allen.
Oh, wait, but he's going somewhere. So I'm talking about
Oh,
straight
yeah,
up
yeah.
between
To Portland.
Portland
Got you.
and the Blazers. I'm talking about these two straight up.
Mm-hmm.
You telling me that he couldn't put a package similar to that? I mean, if you heard the different scenarios, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson was in some of them. I'm like, you want to make money match up? Kyle Lowry probably need to put up in there somewhere. And some picks. You tell me he couldn't do that? So is Tyler Hero's trade value that trash? I'm asking you as the Heat fan, like, yo, what's going on? Did they not just want Tyler Hero? Like,
Honestly, and this is what I've been reading, I have no correct source on this. From my understanding, Tyler Hero was probably a centerpiece in what were the trade options, trade packages, scenarios that they were putting together. He was on the table, as he's been multiple times throughout his career now. And Portland, from my understanding, just refused to work with the Heat. They offered different packages. They offered picks. They offered different players. They offered cash. They offered many things. But from my understanding, Portland, because Damian Lillard specifically requested the Miami Heat, Portland decided we are the bigger entity, we're the team, we're the organization, You requested a trade, so we're gonna send you where we want to send you, not where you want to go. That's my understanding of it. I until the we have a full statement of how this went down. That's what I've been hearing the most is that not because Miami couldn't put together the trade package, but Portland's leadership, I'll put it that way, did not want to accommodate this request by Dame to go to Miami. So it'll be interesting when the season rolls around because I'll be watching Miami versus Portland as well as Milwaukee versus Portland. It's gonna be really a key game in my book. I'm gonna circle it on my calendar. I already know it's in February. So
Of course, the Miami Herald, Portland never gave Miami a chance to match the package or to improve the deal before the trade went through the books. So that's one thing. That's not the best business practice. You probably got something else out of the Heat if you went back to the Heat before you made the trade final. Uh, there's always news that comes out after the fact the trade is done. You hear about all the different scenarios and what teams try to do. It also came out that the Suns were trying to get Kyle Lowry in Phoenix. So it seems like the Suns were always going to be part of this 3-team deal. It seems like the Suns was always going to be a factor since that news came out. That's what that tells me.
mm-hmm.
So the Suns were always going to be a factor. And I believe that would have worked in y'all favor too. Get Dame. Okay, Kyle Lowry goes to the Suns, which is a need for them. They need a point guard. I mean, despite what they have there and what they say they're going to do, I still think they need a point guard. I mean,
For sure. I think that would have helped, but Portland was stubborn. It seems.
yeah, I'm just like, why though? I don't get it. Something must be missing here. Something's got to be missing. I'm like, is there something the Heat did to offend somebody over there? Like, what is going on? Like, most trades like this, okay, it'll happen. At one point, we were thinking it wasn't going to happen at all until, thankfully, they want to get it done for,
Training camp.
Yep.
Yeah. Honestly, man, I do feel like there's a little bit of disdain towards the Heat. That's just my opinion. And
why? I'm like, must be some personal stuff going on or something, bro. I don't know what it is.
from my understanding, Portland was not willing to give up Dame unless they got in return Jimmy or Bam.
That makes no sense. So, question: Jrue Holiday is Jrue Holiday on that level of Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo?
I mean, to be fair, the type of player that he's a great player. I'm not gonna say he's on the level of a Bam or Jimmy, but arguably Jrue Holiday is if not the best two-way, he's one of the best two-way players in the league. Still, like you said, does that warrant enough for him to get traded to Portland instead of putting a package together in Miami? Because if that's the case, like you said, is Jrue now a franchise player like a Jimmy Butler? Is he a cornerstone piece like a Bam Adebayo? I'm sure, of course, if Jrue Holiday doesn't go to the Bucks in 2020, I don't think the Bucks win a championship in 2021 necessarily. That I can say for sure. But to trade him when Dame there's Damian Lillard, NBA top 75, but you wanted the Heat's best player. Not, if that was the case, why didn't they go for Giannis? You know what I mean? Like it kind of is sketchy because you only wanted Jimmy or Bam, not Tyler Hero, not all the other assets, but you got Drew Holiday. Even though he's not gonna be there anyway, but you basically just gave Dame up for Jrue, who also is gonna be out because he doesn't want to play for Portland. So you really got nothing in that trade but to get Dame out of there and not send them where you wanted to send them. I felt like it was, in my opinion, an ownership flex or something to be like, all right, we have the money and power. We're the organization. We're gonna send you where we want you to go. That's the only thing I can think of because Dame was in Portland for 11 years, the all-time leader in the franchise. He's multiple All-Stars, drug bad teams to deep playoff runs, Western Conference Finals just a few years ago. And all this time, reporters, NBA analysts, everyone's been saying Dame can't win in Portland. Dame can't win in Portland. He stays. He fights. He plays hard. He drops records. He does so much in the Portland community. And this is what, his when he's finally had enough, you trade away CJ McCollum. You don't add any. You add pieces, but you don't add anyone who can turn the organization around to be in this contending level with other teams that are in your division. And then you send them away for nothing. Now, obviously, they have Scoot Henderson. I think he's going to be great. He's young, and they'll build around him eventually. But you're essentially going into a rebuild fully. Aiden, I think, will be good there. I think this gives him an opportunity to be more of a focal point, something that I feel like also is going to be helpful for him not being in Phoenix, playing behind Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal now. I feel like that's going to be good for him. But still, we all know that DeAndre Ayton, Scoot Henderson, they're not Dame Lillard. They're not the franchise. He was literally the franchise in Portland, and they sent them away with, to me, ill intentions to send the message. But that's just my opinion.
Chris Haynes put a full article out about the situation behind the scenes throughout this process. Not gonna read the whole article. I recommend you all to read it for yourselves, but just want to highlight some things, which kind of goes back into like just why this turned out the way it did. One main highlight is that, first of all, the team asked Dame to sit the last 10 games or so.
Yeah.
So he can get a higher draft pick, number one. Number two, once Dame requested the trade and he saw that it wasn't working to his favor or it wasn't being done as earnestly as he thought it would be for him to go to Miami, he requested to sit down with the with the president and talk some things out. And Dame had desire to go back to the Trailblazers and rescind his trade offer if he wasn't going to go to Miami. Dude said, there ain't no coming back from this. You getting traded. I'm paraphrasing here. Read the article for yourselves. That's number two. This is very shocking to Dame. Of course, it'll be shocking to everybody. I'm willing to stay. If you're not going to let me go to where I want to go, I'll stay. And knowing Dame is going to play. Just knowing his nature, he was going to play. He wasn't going to do a James Harden.
Right.
So that's number two. So, yeah, those two things are just very surprising. It turned into a very kind of an ugly situation that caused so much tension between the Blazers and Dame's camp. So at the end of the day, Cronin just he decided to go with the Milwaukee package at the end of the day, and it is what it is. So, like you said, Dame does have a chance now to go to a true contender, which is one of the things that he wanted. But Portland felt like because Dame requested a specific place, they were already at the losing end of the bidding war, which is true. I wonder myself if the Miami Heat kind of felt, I don't say arrogant in some ways, but it's like, I don't know, man. I just felt like the ball was dropped somewhere where this trade couldn't get done. I'm just surprised that this trade couldn't get done by the Heat, but Pat Riley, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was just surprised it didn't get done. So it is what it is, and because of all this, what are ramifications of this with the Heat locker room? Tyler Hero and trade rumors once again. All summer with the trade rumors. How is he going to react to this? He put out some tweets and stuff. You know, I'm sure you've seen them.
Yeah.
How does this affect player morale? But like Jimmy Butler, you know, and damn, you know, they're expecting to get this player. It seemed like it was be set in stone. Everybody else in the world has been doing this for years in the LeBron era, and you can't do it now. For what reason? So but I have a good faith that the Heat will be okay. It's just the fact that he went to Milwaukee, and it hurts the chances even more for the Heat. I know you're a Heat fan. You love the team. You trust the team. It's not looking good though, because he got traded to a rival in your case for the championship in the East.
Yeah.
Because other rumors that came out, like the thing about Toronto, everybody was like, he ain't going to go to Toronto. Like, everybody was thinking that. There's no way he's going to Toronto.
Yeah.
According to reports, too, the Raptors weren't willing to give up OG in the trade. So I'm like, of course they ain't going to get him. So,
OG, not Siakam.
No, I mean OG Anunoby.
I know. That's what's wild to me. That's
so yeah, and then if Dame did go to the Raptors, were they gonna be a serious contender? Not really.
No.
Not with what they had. No. So the Heat, y'all maybe they were like, yo, it's fine if he goes to the Raptors. It's just, you know, it is what it is. I don't think anybody thought Dame was gonna go to Milwaukee. This came out of left field. Nobody, no rumors, nothing. Like you said, we heard Raptors, Clippers, like all these other teams, Celtics. I heard all these other teams.
Yeah.
Milwaukee never came up. They moved in silence, and respect to Milwaukee for moving in silence. That's how you get things done.
Yeah.
So maybe that was mistake number one from the get-go. Move in silence in the background.
Yeah. I do think that's I don't blame Dame for this, but I think that the decision to say I want to be traded specifically to the Miami Heat brought up all of this extra stuff behind the scenes with the organization, obviously, and then just the commissioner spoke out about Harden and Dame's trade request and saying it's bad for the league. This other like negative connotation to it, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess like you said, you move in silence. It's a little bit easier to. I don't know. I feel like it softens the blow or something like that, but. Because Dame, and I don't blame him. He just said what he felt. He was true about it. Like that's what it is. But I think I guess for future reference for other NBA players who request a trade, don't say I want to be traded to this team. Just say I'll, request a trade. And of course, still at the end of the day, you're going to be able to, submit the teams that you are wanting to. You may not have the final say in it, but you do have some say. But you would think, with it being Damian Lillard, top 75, franchise leader, that they would respect his wishes a little bit, give him that option. But they were like, no.
Yeah, it still doesn't look good to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. Dame has been loyal to that franchise, and on there. Then again, in Portland's defense, that's why we paid you so much money because of your loyalty.
Yeah.
We're not obligated to give you anything else because we gave you the supermax deal. I mean, Dame got paid. It's unfortunate that he put no trade clause in his deal. If he did that,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be sitting here right now. I wish he and his agent thought about that, but at the same time, maybe back then when he signed it, he thought. But even then, it's Portland. I was like, I wish he had a foresight to think like any play on any team gonna think, yo, we got a chance to win it all because that's how they should feel.
Yeah.
But being objectively looking at it, outside looking in, there was no Portland's not gonna make a huge run. Just looking at what they had and looking at what they did, but that you pointed out, trading away CJ and not really getting anything much in return. You got Jeremy Grant, cool, but little steps, but it's not enough. Is it enough? Anyway, that's that.
Yeah.
Dame is going to be in Milwaukee. He's in Milwaukee now. Has a chance to compete. And with that being said, are the Bucks favorites now to win it all? What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm never going to go against my Miami Heat, of course, but obviously, Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez.
Oof.
That's a tough lineup. Just those four. I haven't even named the fifth person in the starting lineup. But when you think about what Giannis's game is, going downhill, sucks the defense in. If you don't, he's dunking on 2 or 3 people. If you suck the whole team in, you got Chris Middleton, who can kill it from mid-range, 3-point shooting. Damian Lillard, who obviously can pull up from the parking lot. And a Dame and Giannis pick and roll is such a dual threat, with Dame's ability to create his own shot, get to the basket, facilitate for other players. Giannis obviously being a monster. It's tough, man. I think that if they can really sync up and get their timing together, and with just the size, the shooting abilities, they have a good shot at it. They are definitely a threat in the East.
They're definitely a threat. I know a lot of people saying they're favorites, but I only have one question as far as it goes to contending and being a favorite. Potentially, I agree with you. This had the potential to be a really great team with all the pieces around them. The Dame and Giannis pick and roll should be scary for all teams. The fact about this is going to help open the lane even more for Giannis. This should be great. They do lose a little bit of defense on the perimeter with the loss of Jrue Holiday. How do you make that up? Number one. And this is my main point here, number two. And this is my main point, though. They have a new coach in Adrian Griffin. I don't know what he's going to do. What is his scheme going to be? Can he handle not only just one superstar, 2 superstars in your rookie debut season of coaching? Sometimes when things come together, it doesn't work out the best. What would it be? What would the locker room be like if they start losing maybe a couple games here? They lose a game that they were supposed to win, right? Because it happens. It happens.
Yep.
Now,
absolutely.
This is a minority head coach, and I hope it works out. But again, this is not the most experienced head coach. I would feel more confident in the Milwaukee Bucks if they had, say they did get like a Nick Nurse when he was out there. Along those lines. That's just my opinion. So I'm wondering what schemes that he's going to utilize. I have no clue. So that's my only question when it comes to the Bucks. What's the coaching scheme going to be? How's coaching going to play out? And because managing superstars can be tough. As you know, Resident Heat fan Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley, it's hard to deny them. It's a certain thing you got to have, and Giannis is a humble superstar, so it could be an easy job. Dame is a chill. He just does his work, hand down, does his work, dedicated to the craft. It shouldn't be an issue. Like, it shouldn't be, but yeah, high expectations. And if you don't meet those expectations, it can breed, some chaos and some chaotic situations. And can you manage all that? That's my only question. I believe he can. I hope that he can. Just have to see it. I just don't know. But otherwise, for now, because of that, I have to see it first. But because of that, I would still say the Celtics are still the favorites in the East to me. You add Kristaps Porzingis to that lineup with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, who just got paid. Shout out to him. They have high expectations themselves. I believe the Celtics can still compete with what they have there. It's just a question about playmaking. I don't know what they're gonna do there, but otherwise, I still like everything else they offer. So that's my thing.
Yeah, that's fair, man. That's a good point. They do have a new coach in Adrian Griffin, and I'm excited. Honestly, it's there are a lot of ifs and coaching schemes and playmaking scenarios. We'll have to see how they adapt and how they react to him as a coach, how they respond. But also the thing I think about with this team now, obviously Giannis has played with this core group of guys in Middleton and Brook Lopez and the other, key pieces that they've had. They lost a couple of guys, obviously in Jrue Holiday. His name is slipping in my mind, but the dude Grayson Allen is another guy. He went to shoot. He was the point guard / shooting guard off the bench who was killing it, just shooter. He's ball dude. I can't think of his name, but he was really good. They lost a little bit of depth, obviously, but you got to think about it too. Giannis has played with all-star teammates, right? Like Brook Lopez, former all-star. Chris Middleton, when he's been healthy, all-star. Jrue Holiday last year, all-star. But he hasn't played with the caliber player of a Damian Lillard. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He hasn't played with a guy who's killer in the clutch, closer. And the same goes.
Something he dealt with.
Yeah. Same
last
goes
season,
for Dame, man. Same goes for Dame. He hasn't played with a dude like Giannis. He hasn't played with that type of big who can do everything, who can be dominant inside and out, who can do he can have an impact on everything on the floor.
He can.
So it's kind of scary, their potential. Their upside is like very, very high. So it'll be interesting to see how they mesh and how Coach Griffin utilizes them two together. Because either way, it's those two are. Oh man, I kind of want to say unicorns because of just their abilities. As far as the potential, there's so much, and if they sync up the right way, it's gonna be scary for sure. We'll see.
No doubt about that at all. Good point. And we gotta talk about us. You good? What'd you say?
I said, but my favorite.
Of course. Okay.
So
I don't know how you. I don't know. It's just y'all
keep the faith, man. Keep the faith.
See, it'll be different if y'all had this out the way and y'all had a chance to go actually get some more pieces. You lost some pieces yourself, man.
Yeah.
And you haven't. But you haven't. I don't know what y'all have done. You lost Gabe Vincent.
Yeah.
Who was a key player.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and Max Strus. What are y'all? Y'all are in a bad situation. I don't know how you have confidence right now. This whole situation has set you back.
Man, Miami's motto, Coach Spoelstra said this many times. we have enough. We still have Jimmy. We still have Bam. Got Tyler. We got
But
Duncan.
now,
We got
you saw
Thomas
his tweet.
Bryant. Yeah,
You saw Tyler's tweet. He was like, "Till next
hey,
summer." Like, yo,
until the trade rumors start up again. That's all you can do. But the way that the Heat play, the way the morale, they come together. I don't know. I just don't have any doubts. I don't have any worries. I feel like they're gonna grind it out. They're gonna struggle, but every team is gonna have that point. And for us, it's just a big part of what the culture is. So I feel like they're going to mold into something from the beginning of the season to the end. It's going to be a transformation. That's how it is.
let's talk about the other side of the trade. Jrue Holiday is now with Portland, but Portland does seek to trade him. So, what's the best landing spot for Jrue Holiday? And Jrue Holiday, as you said, one of the best two-way players in the game. What he did, like offensively, was like so great. It was like amazing what he did.
For sure.
So, yeah. So, what do you think is the best landing spot for him?
Well, I mean, obviously, I have to throw my bid in. Miami would love a player like Jrue Holiday, someone who can space the floor, make plays, defend multiple positions. He really fits in with what the Heat do as an organization, as a team, their style of play, being hard nosed. I would love to see him in a Heat jersey if that's possible, of course. But I'm biased. But looking at other teams, I've seen stuff about the Lakers and LA teams, and I'm like, no, I don't think that would be.
I'm sorry, dude. You think after what's happened with Portland, they'll do more business with you? You think Portland's actually going to be willing to trade with you after what just happened?
Well, I don't think they're. I don't know if they're gonna buy him out, or if they're gonna I don't know. But
okay, if they buy him out, okay. But
buy him out. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think y'all have any chance doing business with Portland anymore.
If they're like petty, they were like, we couldn't give you Dame, we'll give you Jrue. I feel like, we're not giving you anything, but we'll give you Jrue. I feel like that would be their.
There was some pettiness going on
for sure. If that's how I think of it, but
that's how you go ahead.
Hey man, I gotta keep my hopes high.
That would be a good addition for y'all. Y'all were to get the Jrue.
I love Jrue Holiday. Like he's
y'all defense would be on point.
Man, could you imagine a Jimmy Jrue combo in the oh man,
that would be good luck trying to. Oof, you're gonna hire people so much,
Yeah, man.
So that'll be unique. But you're also saying like LA. I think you were saying just now.
I've seen stuff about LA. I feel like I couldn't really see him with the Clippers. Obviously he could go there, but
there's a lot going on with the Clippers right now.
You got Russ there. I can't
potentially James Harden. We'll talk about that later, but going on. You already have. They have so much depth at guards already that they really don't need another guard.
Yeah,
unless you just want to, flip for Jrue. You got Bones and you got Man, so it's like you really don't need another guard. But again, the positives does outweigh the negatives with Jrue. So it's like, it's up to you it's up to them what they want to do. So.
Yeah,
Philly as well. Philly is a very interesting spot.
Hey, it'd be a welcome home party. That was his first team.
It was. Honestly, I like Philly. Doesn't need a whole lot from me.
But
not really. But they have a chance. They have a better chance than what they're getting now, I think. Especially what's going on with James. But I like that move for Jrue if he goes to Philly.
But if they
I just want to go to a good contender. That's all I want.
I don't know how I feel about the Philly one because obviously we don't know what's gonna happen with James just yet. But
True.
even still, I don't know, man. I Philly obviously Embiid MVP year this past season he won it. They just key thing is health, and then I don't know, the supporting cast just hasn't been supportive as much as I would hope for them to be. I don't know what it is in Phil. I think they're gonna be good, but
It's a new era now in Philly. it's an it's a new day, so maybe it'll
that's right.
change a little bit. So we'll see. Um, yeah, we'll see as far as that goes. But I got you. So gotta talk about the Lakers portion of it a little bit. Just the Lakers have so much improved depth. If they somehow get Jrue Holiday as well, it's too much. They also have to give up something to get him too. So I just wonder. It depends on what they have to give up. Even with that,
Yeah.
OP move because someone else had an idea about like a 3-team deal where I think you've seen this too, where Kyrie goes to the Lakers, the Mavs get Jrue Holiday.
I didn't see that.
Okay, the Mavs get Jrue Holiday, Kyrie goes to the Lakers, and they get some pieces back in Portland to satisfy those teams' needs or whatever. Because he will be a good piece next to Luka. The Lakers, of course, would love to have Kyrie.
For sure.
I don't know. But going back to this specific question, I just want Jrue to go to a contender. Wherever contender that is.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what? The Celtics can do it.
Oh, my gosh.
It's over. I'm just thinking because they need a guard. They need a point guard.
They do need a point guard.
Jrue can play make. And that defense. It's over. I don't care. I don't even care about the Bucks. I don't care what anybody else does in the offseason. That's it. If the Celtics somehow get Jrue Holiday, because they got some pieces to give them. They can give Malcolm Brogdon and another piece and some picks and get Jrue. That can be done. That can be done if he wants another chip. I just want him to contend because he's at this point in his career where I feel like Drew's betrayed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because he was hoping to finish out his career in Milwaukee.
Bro, you know he had just said he would love to retire a Buck, and then
exactly, and now you traded. So I feel bad for Jrue.
I do too. Drew's a cool dude, man. He's from every interview, everything I've read about him, and just the stuff I've seen him do. He seems like a really solid person. So I hope that he does get into a situation that benefits him, or at least gives him a chance to get another championship for sure. Boston is a really good one.
Boston's OP, but honestly, I would like if the Heat can get him. I just don't know if the partner with the business with y'all at all.
You know, the black sheep of the league, but it's all good. It's all good. That's fair.
No.
I mean, I'm just trying to look at other teams or think of other teams that need a point guard or some point guard depth that are championship potential. Celtics for sure.
Right.
But I don't want to see anybody go to the Celtics. Just saying. I'm not a.
I understand. I'm trying to think of some teams in the West.
I mean, Denver comes to my mind,
but they got Murray. If Murray can go to the 2.
That's true, but I'm thinking Jrue to me is still a starting point guard at this point in time.
Oh, you think about having him off the bench?
But if you were to Bruce Brown went to Indiana.
That's true.
They got Caleb Brown, who's more of a two. Brown, sorry, we've been saying that name for a long time. Brown, who was great in the finals. But if you just imagining having if a dual point guard threat, if you want to start Holiday, Murray, or if Jrue just decides, you know what? I'll back him up.
Yeah,
That's an elite second unit still. Elite
true.
team, elite depth, and he gives you defensive presence, prowess. He can guard the best player on any given night. That's a tough one, but I don't know if that would. I don't know how that would work.
Think about some other teams. That's about. I think they named them almost all of them because all contenders are going to be knocking on the door,
Yeah,
especially for those that need a point guard.
yeah.
As far as others just need one, I don't see anyone else other than the Celtics for the most part.
I mean the Suns, but I don't think they would.
Suns too. There you go. That's a good point. Suns too, but I don't think they have enough at all to do anything.
Unless they give up a bunch of assets they just acquired.
Exactly. So I don't see them doing that. So
Yeah.
that would be ideal for them, but I don't think they have enough. I don't think they can do it.
Yeah.
You already have 3 max salary guys on one roster. It's going to be hard. So, and they just got rid of a 4th in DeAndre. So, a potential 4th. So, yeah, for me, I say Celtics. That's my final answer. For you, you will go with the Heat, I'm assuming. So, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure y'all leave comments about where you think Jrue should go. What's the best fit for him. So, yeah, we both just want to see him go to contender. And, I wish he could have stayed in Milwaukee, but, it is what it is. There were some other moves in the offseason that took place while we're on our hiatus. Some moves include Josh Primo went to the Clippers. Shout out to him coming back, and I guess a shout out. I forgot. Never mind. I kind of forget what I just said. Forget what I just said. I just remember the situation. Forget what I just said. He's with the Clippers. I reneged what I just said. But Christian Wood to the Lakers. Rudy Gay goes to Golden State. Kelly Oubre and Joseph 76ers. So, yeah. These are some really good moves here that I believe helps all these teams. But which move are you excited about the most here?
For me, simply because I am a big fan of Kelly Oubre's game. I love what he was doing in Charlotte. I felt like he was at some points in the season like all-star potential. He's a dangerous, shifty dude. Obviously he's length, lefty. I like his game a lot, and I think that even though I don't have a lot of faith in Philly, I don't really see them being a championship contender at this point. And to be fair, new team, I know it's new season.
Mm-hmm.
I like his game, and I like what he can bring. I feel like he could add a lengthy two-way guy who can get out on the break, get some easy buckets, help relieve Embiid of like the scoring load, especially if Harden gets traded or moved or whatever. He helps bring in some of that scoring that you need from that position at the guard / forward. I like that a lot. If you pair him up with, honestly, if Harden stays, let's say he stays, Harden at the point or 1 or 2, whatever you want to call it, Maxey, dangerous in the open court. That if they get in shape and they run, they could be really dangerous in the open court because Harden can as much as I have criticized him, he's still one of the best playmakers in the league, finding guys. Tyrese Maxey can go 0 to 100 real quick. Tobias Harris, lengthy forward, mid-range threat. You add Oubre to that and get him beat some easy buckets, they could be dangerous. A lot of length on that team that could be really, really fun to watch. So I'm excited about Kelly Oubre. I like most of these moves. Christian Wood is a nice addition to the Lakers. That's some big time depth. Warriors signing Rudy Gay also is gonna be interesting. I feel like they have a good system there that helps vets be kind of revitalized in a way. And obviously, Rudy Gay has a lot of experience. He's going to be a big time help in the locker room. So,
Yeah. Shout out to Rudy Gay.
Yeah.
Great bet in the game. So, you hit on Kelly Oubre. And again, I think that's a great move as well. Great piece for any team that's out there that needs a wing depth. You know, in today's game, you got to have wing depth anyway. So, it's good. So, I'm going to go with Christian Wood to the Lakers. You touched on a little bit. The fact that they got Christian Wood, we kind of talked about this before we left our hiatus, right?
Yeah.
We were like, Christian Wood is still out there.
Yeah.
Someone needs to pick him up. I ain't know the Lakers would be the team to pick him up. The fact that the Lakers got him, they needed depth in the front court. They got it. You got a potential scorer that can shoot 3 levels, whatever you want. In the post, mid-range 3, he can do it all. Young player as well. Now, I wonder how Darvin's going to put the front of the court together, but you have different options now. AD doesn't just have to play center now.
Yeah.
Although ideally, to me, he's playing center because, that's just me. But you don't necessarily have to now. You have depth now. They also had Jackson Hayes, I think, as well, right? I feel like. So they have depth in the front court. They have many options. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Whether you bring Christian Wood off the bench or not, if you start him with AD, I love all the potential here. Yeah. So that's that. I'm really excited about that for the Lakers because that's something they really needed. And shout out to Rob Pelinka. I think I already did my apology already before last season, but apologize again to you, sir. Shout out to you. You found all the depth. You've done everything you needed to do. Great GM. It's like you're in my head with 2K and you made all these moves work. It's amazing. These are exact pieces that I would have did if I was like a GM. Like, yo, and I'm not saying I'm the smartest dude in the world, but these are great pieces here. Like, if you're a Lakers fan, you have every reason to be excited about this season. And just keeping everyone too. So just, a little diatribe about the Lakers. Shout out to them. So that's cool. But I'm really excited about this Christian Wood. Primo, again, the Clippers have so many guards. I just don't know if he's going to even have time to play. So I'm the least excited about that move. But like, I don't agree with you. Everything else, these are great moves for everyone else. It helps the team. And going back to what you're saying about the Sixers, I think I know what you're doing, bro. I think you're slick. I know what you're doing with the Sixers, bro. Talking about not a fan of the Sixers. You're hoping for their downfall. Let me tell you why. Y'all don't be fooled. Zay wants the Sixers to fail so hard because he knows Butler and Joel Embiid want to get together and play again. So that's what he's doing. Don't let him trick y'all. He's just trying to be slick.
What?
Yo, he's wishing and praying for the Sixers' downfall. That doesn't work this season. The Embiid gets upset. Got this James Harden mess, and that's what he's wishing for. Which is like why this next topic we're going to talk about suits his narrative. We want to talk about James Harden. Why we want to talk about James Harden? Because James Harden doing James Harden stuff again. Zay, you should know all the details because you were hoping this situation happened. But James Harden and Daryl Morey are not on good terms. We thought they were, but they're not. It all started when James didn't get the contract that he wanted. So that led to some tension. We've seen James Harden tell people in China that Daryl Morey is a liar. They eventually met up, and it seemed like all was good. It was on social media, and now just a couple days ago, James Harden in the club and having people hold up signs saying Daryl Morey is a liar. So clearly, we're not in a good spot right now. So, what are your thoughts on this whole James Harden situation?
Bro, it is messy. It's a messy, messy spot.
Messy, bro. Like
I
Nice
am.
release in the memo out about this for NBA.
Yeah, man. James Harden on his tour with Adidas in China and making statements and repetitive. Let him be clear. Daryl Morey is a liar.
Chess. Yo,
Chest.
said that loud, bro. He was
Oh,
bold.
man,
I was like, yo,
what?
you've never seen a player say anything about an owner like that. Straight up liar, bro.
About his GM. Like that's his boy. Like he's
Yeah,
Daryl Morey's
yeah.
his GM and Houston.
His boy from Houston, yeah, they helped build each other
brought him
up.
over to Philly, and
Exactly.
for it to be going this way, it's like, man. Like you said, apparently James wanted a longer term contract. I don't know if he wanted the max necessarily.
Yeah,
but
some type of contract that
he wanted
apparently, it was one of those things that was done in the side conversation
Mhm.
that wasn't done apparently, because for James to feel this strongly about it, clearly something was said or miscommunicated for him to do all this. So yeah, man, it's a messy situation. It's not looking good.
Yeah, man, and based on James's history with trades, and we've seen how these things play out.
Yes, we have.
We saw in Houston when he wanted out how that went. We saw how everything fell apart in Brooklyn, and
Yep.
now in the span of just a few years, it's another trade request. It's another I want out, another demand, basically. And don't get me wrong, I'm always going to say that the players should advocate for themselves.
Right.
They should want better for themselves. They should try to go after the things that line up with their beliefs, their values, of course. But there's a certain way, a professional way, you should say, to go about it. And this isn't the best look. We don't know the whole story behind whatever happened to Daryl Morey and James Harden, what he's lying about. We don't know that. But, for this to be the public scene that he's making, it has to be significant, to say the least. Honestly, James Harden's seasons in Philly, I feel like they have been not the best, not because of specifically him, but I feel like in Philly he hasn't been able to really fit what they're doing. I don't know if obviously it's Joel Embiid's team. James Harden, I've said this before, to me he has to transform his game to play with someone like Joel. I can't really see at this point of his career, as great as he was in Houston, and still he's a great player in the league, I don't see him being the franchise player for a team that can win a championship unless you just have I don't even know what you need in that case for him to be the best player, but I don't see it right now with him being the best player on the team, playing the way that he plays. And if I'm Philly, I don't know how I'm going to, unless Philly and James, they have a really, really honest, candid conversation. I would be looking to ship him out because I don't feel like there's any commitment, any loyalty, any type of effort that James is going to put in to be playing his best basketball. He may be out there. He may be in the game, but he may not be in the game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't see it, bro. I think they should try to ship him. I don't know if that means to LA because I still don't see that working to the Clippers, but I would try to ship him. I don't know when that's going to happen. If Daryl Morey is going to try to smooth things over and make magic of the situation, but I would be trying to move Harden somewhere because Joel Embiid only has so much time. We know that he's had these health issues, and that's really like their big thing. Health being the first thing. Second thing, Harden and Embiid, they had some moments, but Harden hasn't been consistent. in some ways, and the style of play I think should be shifted. He should be able to adapt his game a little bit more than what he has been doing, in my opinion.
Okay. Sound like a true Heat fan right there. I understand everything you're saying. It makes sense.
Oh,
But
man.
I just play with you.
You know,
But for real though, if Daryl Morey did try to trade James Harden, what is his trade value right now? You're not gonna get as much as you did when he was with Houston. I know that for sure. You're not gonna get all these picks and stuff, whatever you got in Houston. While Morey's in like Houston or whatever, but like, no, that's not gonna work. And whatever you get in return, I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be equal in value to what they're hoping for, especially what they're hoping James Harden would be in that situation.
Yep.
So, is trading him the best route? Maybe it's tough because we don't even know at this point if he'll play. If he doesn't play, you can't increase his trade value. So you're kind of stuck between the rock and hard place, as they say. But what is his trade value? That's my main question. And based on that trade value, can you make something work? And does James have a particular preference on where he wants to go? Or is just James just trying to be like, hey, give me this contract like we said, or I'll make things rough. So, and if he does that route, how is this going to impact the locker room and the team? So it's just a whole ugly mess of a situation. And, you know, part of me feels for James Harden a little bit, but let me just say this. Let me explain my point. Everyone knows what it feels like when you're close with this person, right? You've been together for some years. You're helping each other out. This is your boy. Daryl Morey is Daryl Morey because of James Harden. James Harden is James Harden because of Daryl Morey. He took that chance on him. These dudes are close. They've been talking. They've been making. Daryl Morey's been making moves for James Harden because of what James Harden wants throughout his career. They're close. And we get to this point now where we have this conversation where you're going to do something and you go back on your word. I'm like, yo, I'm hurt by that. So it could be a case, yo, I want to hurt you just like you hurt me. Or it could be a case like, yo, I want to force you to do what you said you're going to do. I was saying the hurt is magnetizing. Maybe this is why we're seeing James Harden doing all this, because to the degree of like who was doing this, which is Daryl Morey, which is unexpected for him, I'm assuming. So that's just one perspective I'm thinking about when we're talking about James Harden. Now, does this excuse his behavior? Not in the slightest. Not at all. James Harden, it's because of James Harden, I believe Damian Lillard got a memo sent to him. I believe because of James Harden that Dame is not in Miami right now. Like, yo, in the like a different type of scheme or perspective you want to look at. Like, he could be seen as one of the reasons why. But yeah, it's not looking good. I don't know how to resolve this. I say they just need to go based off whatever that original conversation was. If it was a contract, just do it so they can get out the way. And because I think their best chance to win right now is if James Harden plays, because otherwise I don't think you get enough value if you trade him now. And if you don't trade him now, it's like he won't play. So it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
And where does James Harden even want to go? Does he have a preference in his destination? Like, does he want to contend? If he wants to contend, where is he going to go? Because his money situation, he can't go to Phoenix. Man, you can imagine if he went to Phoenix, that'd be too much. That would not happen. We won't have enough cap space to do anything. So,
no.
Where would he go? Like, realistically, where could James go if he were traded? Like, for real. I'm trying to think. And as a GM, do you want to take that chance on James Harden? Because he has this reputation now of being that guy who has short-term stints. Like, for real. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is at this point. And I like James Harden.
Oh yeah. I've been a big fan of his. I think he's an incredible talent.
Oh, this will answer my question right here. Question based on your answer to this question, this will let me know something. Will the Miami Heat trade for James? Okay, that tells you everything you know. That tells you everything you know right there, bro. All right, so you check, yo, well, why?
He wouldn't fit. he wouldn't fit with what they do.
Because you gotta think about it. Y'all need a point guard. Y'all
Yeah.
need that type of depth. I mean, I can argue that he gives you more than what Kyle Lowry would probably give you. Maybe.
Yeah.
I say maybe because sometimes it's inconsistent, but his
Yeah.
highs are higher than Kyle Lowry. You know what I'm saying? So, yep, that tells me everything you know right there. James, you ain't going nowhere. you
See,
suck.
it's
He's gonna go to like the Wizards or something. That's the thing. He's gonna go somewhere where it's like NBA. Yo, you seen that's the destination for him. It sucks. It's gonna be one of those teams. I guess the Rockets, because he wanted to go to the Rockets. So I don't know.
I mean,
That would be what they got going on over there now too. They may need another guard.
But
Yeah.
the only thing I've seen about his like preference is the Clippers.
Me too, and I don't see that as one. They could trade Russ
with the money with
that doesn't match money. You're right.
Russ is on. Yeah, Russ's deal would not do anything.
It wouldn't do anything. He's on the minimum. So
and they're gonna keep Kawhi. They're gonna keep PG. You got to give up your depth for Harden, who
like Morris and
Bones Highland. You got Norman Powell.
I know for sure they probably want to keep Norman Powell. They probably want to give up Morris and maybe Bones, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how it would work.
I don't know. We got to put the numbers together to see how the numbers match up and stuff. But you're right. But you're on the same path like that. It wouldn't work with the Clippers. The only way it would work if he goes to like a poverty franchise. No offense to those of you that are fans of these teams, but the franchises where they're not going to make the playoffs, but you got a name, right? So you can put some more people in the seats, get some ticket sales in there. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I see now. And there are a bunch of teams like that: Jazz, Wizards, those type of teams. Again, no offense to y'all fans out there. You know where your franchise is at, but just being honest. But like, yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens with James Harden. Thank y'all for tuning in. We are back. Swish Masters Podcast. We are back now. I'm so excited, bro, about this season. There's a lot of parity in the league, man. And we're going to get into it. We're going to preview all the teams in the upcoming weeks and analyzing their chances to see what they have to win the championship. And the NBA has introduced a new format. We'll get into that too. So y'all stay tuned in, man. But glad to be back. Appreciate y'all your support. Thank you for your patience. Man, Zay, what's one of the things you're most excited to about this season?
I'm just excited, obviously, for some good hoops. I'm looking forward to seeing these new teams, how they gel, how they come together. I really am going. I'm intrigued by the new implements by the league with the in-season tournament. I want to see how who's coming out party is going to be. I've heard a lot of these young guys. I'm looking specifically at guys like Cade Cunningham, who I've heard a lot about in USA basketball this past summer, and just seeing healthy players, guys coming back. I'm really looking forward to that, and just getting dubs with my Heat.
That's what's up. All right, but thank y'all for tuning in. Look forward to it.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead, bro.
Final swish, man. Final swish. My bad.
Go ahead. We can do that. Let's close it out with that. Good point. It's on you.
Got you, man. My final switch is not necessarily basketball related, NBA related, but I got to give a shout out, man. It's a special weekend right now. September 29th, or it's Friday, September 29th right now. We're recording this, and got a shout out to my younger brother, D Brown. Happy birthday. Getting old. I'm not the old man anymore. He is. Every time he texts me, he's giving me old man typos. So shout out to him on his birthday, getting old. And of course, shout out to my co-host, man. The next day, tomorrow, happy birthday to Q. Wish you many blessings, peace, happiness, joy. Appreciate you, man, for all that you do, putting this thing together, helping me be the Swish Masters Podcast. Without you, wouldn't be a Swish Masters Podcast, man. So we appreciate you. Shout out to everyone who's tuning in. Thank y'all.
Yeah. Great final switch, bro. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the love, bro, and support, man. No, thank you too, bro. Appreciate you. I already have much of a final switch myself. I'll let that be the one for today. But yeah, man. And shout out to your people, man. Your shout out. Happy birthday to him as well. All right. So I'm out. QtheGuru. I'll see y'all next time.
Peace. Take it easy.